On the feast day of St. Isidore the Farmer, Bishop Robert Brennan drove to Sacred Heart Church Cardington in Morrow County to bless farms and farm families. He was greeted by Pastor Father Thomas Buffer, parochial vicar Father Kyle Tennant, and several farm couples. He listened as the couples described the joys and challenges of their vocation. Bishop Brennan talked about Saints Isidore and Maria, a married couple who farmed the land and lived with deep faith. He acknowledged how so many families are at the heart of the farming of our lands. On the windy spring morning, he then blessed the field behind Sacred Heart's Church and the farm couples, praying in gratitude to God and with hope for a good year.
We really want God's strength and blessing this year. God bless all of you. I appreciate you coming out today. I know you've got things going, but it was nice that we could break together. I wish you a good season, please, God. Columbus, I've been.
As Bishop said his goodbyes, he told the families about his return to St. Joseph Cathedral to celebrate the noon Mass for the St. Isidore feast day. Then it's off to Madison County to continue the blessing of farms.
Today, we celebrate the feast of St. Isidore. Isidore is important for us in central Ohio because so much of our great diocese here in Columbus, in central Ohio, is comprised and blessed with rural life, with farms and farming families.
His first stop in Madison County was the Ewing family farm, known as Summerford Gardens. He prayed with them before they showed their chickens and rows of vegetable plants grown using sustainable practices. They gave him a bag of honey, maple syrup, and produce to take back to the chancery. Next, Bishop blessed the Furby family farm. A highlight was watching farmer Matt Furby give commands to the family's border collie, which guided sheep along the pasture. The shepherd of the diocese even bottle-fed a calf named Blaze.
That's how he's not happy when he goes around. So what happens when she runs out? She likes it. Down to the end here. Does she have a name? Blaze. B-L-A-Z-E? I've never spelled it. Sounds good.
At the Higgins family farm, Bishop Brennan learned about grain production. Robert Higgins showed the bishop a field of young corn plants. After the blessing, the bishop was invited into the cab of a tractor mounted with a 16-row planter. Driven by Higgins' son-in-law Sean Meade, the tractor roamed out across the field. Yes, that's the bishop taking a picture of the tractor, a memorable experience. The final stop was the Han family farm. Joe Han showed the bishop how their grain elevator dries and stores corn.
Just put a B in front of it. He's an orphan. Is he? Yeah. That's why he's like the path.
Before the blessing, the bishop enjoyed the opportunity to feed a young lamb named Hershey. Brothers Joe, Chuck, and Deacon Dan Han and his son Mike farmed the 1,400-acre farm of corn, soybeans, and hogs. Deacon Han's granddaughter, Hannah, demonstrated how she will show her hogs in competition. The day concluded with strawberry shortcake with the Han family.
Isidore and his wife, Maria de la Cabeza, really attained, both of them, sanctity. He was canonized as a saint. She was beatified, but soon after her death was acclaimed as Saint Maria. She's called very familiarly Saint Maria. So here we have a married couple together achieving that beautiful crown of sanctity. And we think of the beauty of family life, and we think also of our farming communities. Isidore was a farmer, and sort of a peasant farmer, a day laborer in the fields, not, the master of many acres of farmland, but he was a hard worker. And Maria and Isidore managed to balance beautiful family life, tremendous generosity, hard work, and serious prayer. As farmers, as very poor farmers, they managed all that balance, deeply devoted to God in prayer. That was the heart of it all. And that helped Isidore out in the field. It helped Maria around the household and out in the fields near her. They provided food for people who did not have. They knew what it meant to have friendship with Jesus. And, as farmers, they got that sense of being a partner with God, that God called them into this great partnership. When you look at farming life, it's hard work. And what does the farmer do, though? Plants into the ground, and then God has to take over. You realize you're in a partnership with God. God is doing amazing things, but God sets it up so that we're part of the process. Today, we pray for our farmers. We pray for the farmers who are members of our parish communities, and we ask God's blessing upon them in this planting season. We pray for farmers across our nation because we realize how dependent we are upon them for their hard work and for the produce that feeds and cares for all of us. We pray for our farming families. I mentioned Isidore and Maria's friendship with Jesus and the sense of the four-part hard work, prayer, generosity, and family life. It's not because their life was easy. It was actually very hard. They suffered tremendously as a family. They lost their only child in infancy. It's not that life was handed to them on a silver platter, but rather in that day-to-day work and suffering and living for others, they were able to draw on the great font of strength that comes from friendship with Jesus Christ. Isidore and Maria teach all of us in our daily work and in our family lives to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus. And if we keep our eyes fixed on Jesus and we give our daily work our best efforts and our family life our best efforts, we will find that the Lord does help to sustain us and to carry us through. Let's ask the Lord's blessing upon those who are working. Last season was a tough season for so many of our farming communities. This season is bringing its own set of challenges. And so let's ask the Lord's help and blessing on those who are working hard to provide for us.